there. I told you I go down there often. I just got back from down there last weekend.
Yeah, for the birthday party. Which
For the baby's birthday party. But y'all mark my words. This is my prediction. Perez is going to be suing Katie Joy next. He's going to be the next celebrity to sue Katie Joy. I'm putting $20 on it.
Well, somebody will. If it's not him, it'll be somebody.
Yeah, if it ain't him, it'll be somebody.
So here we go. This video was so on point, and yeah, about time someone says something logical, and then I'll answer that question about something being wrong. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'll ask it again.
Yeah. Okay. This guy right here. Oops. Wait, let's see. You can see. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you hear him, but.
To remind you that Gypsy Rose Blanchard was in fact abused by her mom. Dee Dee Blanchard engaged in a form of child abuse that is known as Munchausen by proxy, wherein she lied to Gypsy Rose for her entire life about how old she was, how many diseases she had, the severity of her diseases, and what would happen to her if she was ever let out of her sight. This then created a very weird childhood where Gypsy Rose Blanchard's only form of communication with anybody in the outside world that was not at least immediately monitored by her mom was through the internet. And she then got very attached to her boyfriend that would be the person who murdered her mom, this guy named Nick, because she engaged with him online and was able to, in her like never-ending boredom and being locked in her house, make up fantasies about what it was that they would be able to do together if she just got out of the house. That's why she made all the videos. People were like, oh, how could there be so many videos? Dude, she had nothing but time on her hands. When she wasn't in doctor's appointments, she was in that house with her mom. That's it. And I'm seeing people now who are claiming that actually like Gypsy Rose is like the person who was the more evil one in their relationship. No. Gypsy Rose was a child, okay? And she was she was categorically gaslit for 18 years of her life. She didn't even know how old she was until she was 18. She was 18. Like, I don't know, man. I just think that people need to remember that, like, she is the victim of child abuse that happened for her whole life until and this is where, you know, it does get very terrible. She did partake in murder of her mom. And there's no excusing that. I'm not saying that there is, but I'm just saying that, like, this notion I'm seeing pop up on TikTok is very worrying to me, because it's like, y'all know she was abused. Like her mom had all the power in their relationship, and her mom abused her, separated her from her family and everything for 18 straight years. Like, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a victim. Hi, everybody. I think it's time to remind you.
So the video was
Gypsy
great, but it was the comment section that really was like awesome. Like, Gypsy needs to in-depth there, but what this person said, she had no mandatory it was not mandatory for her when she got out, which is a lie. It was mandatory, and she is still in therapy. All of these are positive comments, and I was just surprised. Gypsy Rose went from being abused beyond belief to having blah blah blah. I mean, you can go there to see the comments, but it goes in, it says like, oh my god, I've been seeing these posts of people saying justice for Dee Dee, and it's just insane. She got her justice, and Gypsy did her time, which is true. Like, you know how many people haven't gotten justice? There's people who have literally. I mean, think of Kaylee Anthony. Like, I mean, no, she never got justice. No one's in prison for her death. Someone is in prison for Dee Dee's death, and Gypsy went to prison and was on parole for a total of 10 years. That is justice. Like, what? Like, there's so many people who have actually not received justice. How can you say hasn't received justice when she has? Like, it's just insane. But, you know, people can believe what they want. But if you go read these comments, it's like, it just was so good to see, like, oh my God, yes, I've been seeing this crazy group of people going around. And I'm like, oh, you know those people too? Yeah, they're real crazy. Yeah, it's really, like, I'm not going to read all the comments just because it would take me all day, but I was surprised because usually I see a video like this and then I see the crazy people from the Gypverse coming over here and coming into their comments and, like, destroying them. Wait, Bree, you have a biased opinion. Why? You don't think you have a biased opinion? Why do I have a biased opinion, but you don't? Please answer that. Like, why do I have one, but you don't? What's the difference? I started talking about this before I knew Gypsy, before I was friends with Gypsy.
So Gypsy is gonna that New Year's video, the clip from this new podcast of hers. The goal is for her to release more episodes, right?
Yeah.
So my understanding over the last few weeks is, and I've said this before, people believe two different things. People believe either Gypsy was abused by her mother or not abused. So here's a thought. She's coming out with this podcast. I think it could be a good opportunity. And I would say maybe she should be like, okay, I'm aware that there's a lot of people out there who don't believe my lived experience. To simplify things, here's everything that factually happened with receipts.
She's been doing that. Wait, did you not see what her podcast said? She said this isn't a year of proving anything. This is a year of whatever the rest said, because she's been doing that. She's been doing nothing but, Perez, the first year that I was on TikTok, I quite literally, every video I made, I showed receipts from medical records. I had access to all of that. So I showed
She should do it. She should do it herself.
When she does it, nobody cares. She posted a video about her, about the micro deletion, and people nobody ever listens to her. You gotta think, how many times has she told her story? Why does she have to tell it again so people can pick it apart and say she said it differently again? That's what they do. Like, what I don't get is
I feel like, because like for me, for example, like some people have come to this later than others, right? So there's like a lot that I didn't know, and I feel like, I don't know, if not or not, I don't know. You're right.
I just feel like that's what she's been doing for the last 11 years of her life, between documentaries.
There's also the argument that like she could probably say everything and people still won't believe her. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people do believe her. It's just a small community of people that you happen to, like, that's such a small community compared to how many people are in the world. It really, on her other platforms, she's doing great. She doesn't get nearly as much hate. But here's the thing. For me, and it should be simple for so many people. Okay, so Gypsy was put in a wheelchair when she didn't need one. That's abuse. Gypsy's head was shaved when it didn't need to be. That's abuse. Gypsy was put on a feeding tube and it was never taken out of her. But when she got to prison, it was removed and she was fine. She could eat perfectly fine. That is abuse. The fact that she could not have a boyfriend when she was in her 20s, that should show you. That's, no person should feel like they can't have a. Why wouldn't she be able to?
But like the medical things, they would not have happened if the doctors didn't believe they were necessary.
Wrong.
What do you mean? Like, that would mean that medical malpractice doesn't exist. That would mean that Munchausen by proxy isn't a thing. That would mean that medical child abuse doesn't happen. That would mean that doctors don't make mistakes. That would mean that caregivers aren't freaking calculated and aren't deceptive, which is what equals people who have Munchausen by proxy. That would mean that every single person who's ever gone through this abuse basically hasn't.
So why? Here's a thought that had not occurred to me before. Then why has she not considered or actually gone after these doctors and
statute of limitations? Statute of limitations. And when it comes to Missouri, especially Louisiana, which is where a lot of the bigger surgeries were done. Man, Louisiana, you have 1 year after you find out, because they do that thing where if the time can start from when you find out that these things weren't necessary or whatever. Well, Louisiana, the statute of limitations is it's such a short period of time, and you have to figure she had a case to also fight. But this is the bigger thing, and I hope that a lot of people I find can't comprehend this, but not because they aren't smart. I think it's because sometimes, when you have this idea and this thought and this opinion in your mind, you don't want to shift from that. And I'm hoping, since you aren't really all the way there that maybe you can understand this. Okay, so here's the thing. It would be so hard to win, even if they had time to file the lawsuit. And this is why. You have to prove in a lot of cases that these doctors intentionally they were intentionally doing this. Not that they were just deceived, but they were intentionally doing this. And here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that Munchausen by proxy is not just the fabrication or the exaggeration. It's also the inducing of symptoms. So there are things that technically were medically necessary, but only because her mother made it medically necessary. Does that make sense? Like starving her, not giving her enough food so that way she loses all this weight and she needs a feeding tube. Or for example, when she's putting tons and tons of Orajel in her mouth and eventually they can't figure out what is causing, and it says that in the records, there's no root. They don't even know why. They just know that she's that there's drool pooling at the bottom of her mouth, nowhere else, just at the bottom, and they can't even find what's causing it, but they take out her salivary glands. So that would mean that to the doctors, it's medically necessary, or if she's starving her and not feeding her, which she should be feeding her, maybe it was at that time medically necessary, but because of the abuse.
Sorry, explain the Orajel thing. What was that about?
So her mouth for the excessive saliva.
Orajel is for pain.
Teeth pain.
Yeah, but if you put, you know how you ever put Orajel in your mouth? It can make your mouth water from numbing it, especially if you put imagine a whole tube at the bottom of your mouth, you're gonna be drooling.
So what was the purpose of the mother doing it?
Because she kept on saying she was drooling a lot. So that's what eventually she was getting Botox treatments in her salivary glands. And then eventually she got them removed, which is an incredibly painful surgery, incredibly painful. And it's the reason that Gypsy has severe dry mouth now. Her mother claims she was drooling too much, got them removed, and now she has severe dry mouth, which is why she always licks her lips.
Perez, I want to tell you, if you ever study Munchausen by proxy, classic, you will find it in almost every case. That child has a feeding tube. Sometimes it starts with a feeding tube, but somehow a feeding tube is introduced into that situation. And there was a doctor who suspected Munchausen by proxy and even wrote it in the files. And he has since apologized to Gypsy because he didn't act on it. And then you've got to consider this. They head up to Missouri. Well, first up, let me back up. When doctors started catching on and getting suspicious, she would get pissed and go to another doctor. So then she goes up to Missouri and tells them all of Gypsy's records were destroyed in Katrina. So all they've got is her word of mouth to go on. And who's going to think a mother is sitting there saying their child has these things when they don't?
So
because
that was a lie?
Proxy's not common,
The destroyed by Katrina was a lie?
Some of the records are still destroyed. She doesn't have them, but no, that was a lie. They in 2007, they were a lot of them were finally faxed over.
Yeah, and one doctor said that he started to question things, and Dee Dee stomped out mad and never came back.
Yeah, because he got, oh my God, this finally loaded. The freaking Facebook messages, their Facebook messages.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, finally. Okay, it's because I wanted to put this on the disc and I wanted this will save.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Perez.
Whose messages? Sorry, whose Facebook messages?
The one from Gypsy's, but I wanted to show, okay, so, oh my God, there's 86,000 pages. Anyways, okay.
Oh, this is something new. Yes, somebody was telling me about this. These are new.
It took all of it. Oh my God,
if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, you correct me, Bree, because you know more than me. These messages, there's messages where he's telling her what to say in these videos and stuff. Am I right or wrong?
No, that's in the videos, but people are watching that, Sheena. They're not comprehending. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. In the videos, he literally says, in the next video, do this, but they're not watching them in the order, so they'll never understand it the way that it's meant to be understood.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay, so, man, I need to say this. Okay, because I wanted to show him a home video clip. It's not long. I wanted to show you, okay, this is Gypsy. Literally at her birthday party. Okay, so her grandmother, I'm gonna make a video about this, but her grandmother died, and a lot of people in her family, Gypsy's family members, Dee Dee's closest friends, said that after Dee Dee's mom died, Dee Dee kind of spiraled out of control. Okay, so you see this birthday party at Burger King, and it's Gypsy jumping around on her legs, jumping around, running around, eating birthday cake, sugar, food, eating food like she could. And the following year, her grandma died. And guess what? The following year after that, feeding tube. Following year after that, wheelchair. Literally, like, and it's so sad to see when you watch these home videos, because, you know, on the documentaries, they only show these little bitty tiny clips. When I watch these in full context, it is so sad to see, like, Gypsy, like, literally you see this video of her running around, and then you see a video of her basically almost the same age, and she's so skinny, and it's so sad. And her, in a police, phone call from jail with Laura, the grandma, the one that married her grandpa, she literally says that Dee Dee was starving Gypsy.
Wait. I'm having deja vu. There was some drama with the grandfather.
What about it?
It's all
The
confused.
grandfather essayed both Dee Dee and Gypsy.
Right. Okay.
And people invalidated her
This
on
was in
that
Gypsy's
too.
book? This was in the book?
Well, yeah, no, and they mentioned it in the documentary. And let me tell you, okay, because people invalidated her of this. Let me tell you what he said when they brought it up to him in the documentary. They were like, they asked him about it, and he was like, that was hard. That was not. He blamed a child. He said that she touched him, and he was like, no, don't do that.
And she was 4, I believe.
Is that not a red flag or what? I mean, she was 4 years old.
The grandfather admitted to this?
The grandfather, like, instead of, like, he wasn't acting like confused. He was like, oh no, that was her. She touched me.
He was trying to act like 4-year-old Gypsy touched him. He wasn't the one who initiated that. You could tell he was stone cold busted too when they
you could
asked.
tell he was in shock. And instead of just being like, a person that didn't do that would be like, what are you talking? I have no idea. He would probably act completely confused. It's like he knew exactly what they were talking about. But he's like, no, that was her, not me. She
Yeah.
touched me.
You know, I want to make the point to you, Perez.
And
I
he
know
did this to Gypsy's mother also?
Yeah.
So
That was one thing that related about. That was the one thing that Gypsy said her and her mom, like, it was like they talked, they said in the court, that was the one time her mom ever said she was sorry to her. She said, I'm sorry, and they both cried, and they never spoke about it again.
So in a way, you could say that, you know, Dee Dee was a victim also then.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the reason, like, I truly believe that she had a mental illness. It doesn't excuse. Okay, so Munchausen by proxy, although it's a mental illness, it's still child abuse. And that's why, like, we hope to learn about it so people can catch the signs. So these people, it's preventable. Like, if they get treatment, it can prevent them from abusing and unaliving their child, potentially. And that's what I don't think people think I'm only on here because I'm so passionate about Gypsy. No, like, once I got into this case, it made me, I've always been like this where I just like start to think and like, I don't know, like while the world's going on, like I always think about the people that
guy's not alive
or
anymore.
there. No, he's still alive, but I think there are people out there that's being abused still to this day. Right now, elderly people, children, infants.
He's still alive?
He's still alive. He's not, he's still alive.
Did he, and he never, is there a statute of limitations there?
I don't know. But you know, I spoke
Why would
to-
would she pursue charges against him?
Oh, that's a
I
big
think she
ball of
just,
wax.
you know what? I think this is the problem. It has caused the sisters of Dee Dee encouraged her to write a book. And then when she wrote a book, they weren't happy about it because that was in it. I mean, you know, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but especially look, family secrets go run deep in a lot of families. You know, it's like you don't do that. Like you keep it to yourself, which is sick to me. I feel like it shouldn't be that way, but it's like that way in a lot of families. And I think that Gypsy she does have a really big heart. And I think she knows how much that she hurt her family, even though she was hurt and was not protected by them either, because they knew she can walk. Meaning her grandma and her grandpa, and they didn't do anything, you know, but I think she just wants that to be her in her past and just be over with. Like he's going to die soon. He is. He's very old. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to die next week, y'all. I'm just saying I think to her, it's just not, she told her truth and it is, I mean, that's what it is.
It's very painful sometimes to do things like that.
Invalidated about it.
And, you know, people will invalidate that. I mean, you know, Brie made a point one time that I totally believe. Munchausen by proxy is a mental illness. And I prefer to believe that Dee Dee had that, because if not, she was just a horrible, evil monster. And I would prefer to believe that she had a mental illness that was running this. And, you know, her family members have spoken. And I'm not here to bash Dee Dee, but Dee Dee was not an angel. She committed fraud, wrote bad checks, did all this kind of stuff. Her brother told stories about her. And you know what people will say? Oh, well, he was just jealous because Dee Dee was her mother's favorite. So it's like you can't win for losing, because the truth isn't going to stand. It's going to be excused somehow, some way. And there was even claims that she was poisoning her stepmother because she hated her stepmother, because Dee Dee completely loved her mother. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of that in that family.
Wait, that Dee Dee was poisoning her stepmother?
That's what some say. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what people said. That's what some family members said.
Yeah. And Gypsy says that herself. She said that her mother put the same thing inside the cactus that died in the food of her grandma's. Like the grandma, the papa of the grandma remembers Gypsy telling them that when she was little, like when she was really little. So, and why would she just say that? But
yeah, so I believe Dee Dee was sick. I really do. And for people to say she wasn't, then you're saying she was an evil monster. Because to do that to a child and not have a mental illness running that show for you, how do you explain that away? And like I told you, Perez, when you've got two people in a house and one says abuse happened, how are you going to prove it happened, and how are you going to prove it didn't happen? Like, there was physical abuse. I didn't know if I could speak on this, but I can. After Gypsy came back from Dan's house, Dee Dee caught her standing up in the bathroom on the phone talking to him. Dee Dee made her get back in the wheelchair. Dee Dee was so angry, she beat her in the legs until the blood started rising to the top of her legs and they started bruising. Gypsy was hit with coat hangers. I'm not saying it happened all the time. There was all this physical abuse, but there were instances. There was mental abuse. There was emotional abuse. And if Gypsy didn't go along with what Dee Dee wanted, Dee Dee would punish her emotionally, take away love, care, not speak to her. So Gypsy learned it's just easier to go along with this than it is to fight it on some of it.
She would make her take out her teeth and look in take off her wig, take out her teeth and look in the mirror and be like, look at you. Like, no one is ever going to love you but me. I'm like, and yeah, oh sure, only that's what Gypsy says. And I hate when people say that, because it's like, do we never believe anyone then? Do we forever just go on? But like, when people share their stories, be like, you're lying. Like, I think it's really sad. I mean, dude, there are similar things. While I'm watching these videos of Nick, sometimes, man, it like gets to me, because I'll hear him say things and it's stories that Gypsy shared with me. So like, she told him the same things that she's still saying all these years later. Why would I think that it's not true? These are the same things that she told Nick. I just don't see why. I don't know. There's no reason for me not to believe her, especially when you look through these medical records and you see all the lies Dee Dee told. She told different doctors different things. She was going to the cardiologist. She would make the family history, would have all kind of things with cardiology. She was going to the bone doc, whatever. And she was going to make it like the family history, medical history was like, had so much to do with that. Like she was so calculated, and it's just, people are looking at like these videos that came out, and it's like, Gypsy was of age. I'm glad that she had an outlet. Yes, that outlet led her to, someone who was not well, and she wasn't well either. So the two of them together did not mesh. And it didn't end well because of that, but she was 20 something years old. Why is it weird or crazy that she was role playing or doing anything sexual? Like, she's 20 something years old. She should have been able to do that without having to hide it from her mom. She should have been able to walk out of her house and have sex with whoever she wanted to. I don't know. I hear people say, like, Gypsy's mom, I mean, I don't blame her to not let Gypsy date until she's mature enough. Do you know how crazy that sounds? To not let your child date until they're mature enough? Well into their 50s? Like,
I mean, some of that just, my brain, I'm tired, but
when they're a child.
I've heard some things recently, though, that were pretty, I mean.
Like what?
I understand. Listen, I'm very, I don't know the word. I'm very S to the E to the X positive. Okay. I'm all for that. But then, I don't know, this could not be true, but allegedly, after Dee Dee was schmurdered, Gypsy had intimate relations right there in the bed or in the room. Or
no. Okay, you're ready for this? Why don't they tell you the whole? Okay, so if you ever read the text messages, Nick said he would do this, but he wanted to be able to grape Dee Dee if he did it. Gypsy was like, absolutely not. And then so she agreed the deal, and they talk about this in text messages. She's like, the deal, like they have to do the deal, like that's what he's saying, and is that he would get to grape her, okay? Like, I mean, in Gypsy. So when he messaged, like you should see the text messages leading up to that moment.
This could be incorrect information, but they even said that there were bodily secretions.
No, it was in her bedroom. It was in Gypsy's actual bedroom, the one that she never slept in, but that's where they had sex at. Like, that's so insane that anybody would say in the bed with Dee Dee. That's a lie. Like, what? That's ridiculous. And Gypsy had on pink pajamas at first, and he said, well, I suggest you be naked. Like, the whole sexual fantasy behind the murder is Nick's fantasy, not Gypsy's. Gypsy in the text messages literally say, we have all day tomorrow to do this, like to have sex. We don't have to do it right now. And she even asks him, because he was going to do like all backdoor, all of that. And she says, can you wet it? Because I don't want to be traumatized. And you know what he told her? If you obey him, you won't be traumatized. But if you obey him, you won't be traumatized. But if you don't, you will. That's what it was. Like, he was excited about this. Like, that's in the text messages. It's right there for anyone to see. I mean, it's.
So I have to hop off in a minute, but just if you wanna, you don't have to, like. But I do recall seeing your video saying all these people got things wrong, but I don't think you went into detail about what they got wrong.
I didn't say all these people got things wrong. What I said was about something that it's wrong. However I said it, I didn't say all these things wrong. What I said was, because people weren't there. They don't know. Like, a lot of people are saying, because it says under 28 grams, a lot of people are saying an ounce. Like, literally it says under 28 grams. That can mean anything. And I can tell you this, what was in there, from what I can see, was maybe 0.2 grams. Like, it was literally almost resin. It was barely anything. Like, so that's a lie. They're just guessing. Okay. Another thing saying that it's 100% was mine. At the end of the day, it's no one's business. I said it wasn't. You don't have to believe me. So when I'm saying like a situation that things they got wrong, I don't necessarily say it like that. I say like, well, they're not. I can replay it. I say like, they're not, I was like, well, that's not even the case. What they're saying isn't even the case, because what they're saying isn't the case. You don't have to believe that, but that's what I know is true. So that's all. I'm not saying, and I mean, what else? What's going on with me is something that, let me tell you, they see in court every single day. It's not some crazy thing. Like, sadly,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
honestly, I was surprised you even spoke about it. Like,
I mean, why would I
think a
not?
lawyer-
Like, why would
I would think a
not speak
lawyer would
about it?
advise you not to.
I did not speak about any other details other than, like, oh shit.
already out there
People
on
are
paper.
speaking. People are literally, like, I have people contacting my sister and my mother for one. I have people all over the world that know me, my friends. Like, this has reached so many places that there are so many people worried about me, reaching out to my mom. My dad, that I haven't talked to in 2 years, called me. I have to, like, my mom, I can tell that she is, like, I don't watch any of the shit that's being said, but she does, and I wish she wouldn't, but she is so fucking worried about me, and not because of the rugs, because of the shit, the humiliation people are trying to humiliate me, harass me, bully me, and I hate that for her. Like, I'm like, yeah, I might be Gypsy's friend, but I'm just a normal human being, and like, it's really sad to have to, like, my family to have to see people try to humiliate someone when most of these people are, like, a lot of these people are recovering addicts. Like, they're a part of that community. Like, well, maybe they weren't in an actual community, but they're a part of that. And like, they're over there because that's what they're doing. They're trying to shame me, trying to humiliate me. Like Audrey trying to get these videos and audio of, like, and all you're going to see is me. Like I was completely shocked. That's one thing that I guess would be good from the videos is or not a video, audio, is you would hear that I'm shocked. I am hysterical. I like literally almost I'm hysterical in the videos, and she wants to humiliate me because that's all you will hear in his videos. I am absolutely hysterical because I am scared to death. I've never been in trouble before. I didn't expect any of this to happen. Like, I was completely fine with my car being searched. I did not expect what was to come. And I was fucking hysterical. And Audrey's in a video, like, I'm going to get she's like giddy over this, giddy over someone else's, traumatic moment, someone else's humiliation, someone else's. It's actually sick and it's harmful to anyone who is an addict or is a recovering addict, because like, why the fuck would anybody want to even talk about their their addiction or their recovery if this is how people get treated? Like, I don't think anybody understands how many people from that side actually has reached out to me and is completely against what a lot of these people are doing. And because it's disgusting, it really is, because you don't know what that can do to not just me, but somebody else that's in recovery or whatever it may be, and what you could do to their family. My family is being affected by this. There are people messaging them every fucking day, and it's like, leave my family alone. Talk about me, but leave my fucking family alone. So yeah, I think it's such a stupid thing. It's such a minor, like, when I say minor, I've never been in trouble before. I'm hoping for the best when I go. That's all I can do is hope for the best. But what I mean by minor is it's something that is literally seen in court every single day. And it is definitely my fault. I don't know why people are saying I'm blaming the internet. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I did not know I had a brake light that was out. It is my fault. It's my fault that I didn't have insurance. Shit happens, lives. And, we did not have insurance. And I was using a plate that is also mine, but a plate. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And it's no one's business, but people are choosing to take that moment and, like, I don't know, gain off of it and humiliate me or try to. And yeah, like, it affects people. Like, it really does. But some people don't care about that. I understand getting your bag, but at the end of the day, sometimes getting your bag should also come with a little bit of boundaries. That's my opinion anyway. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about people in general.
I don't want to speak for these other people, but my guess is, you're like her number one advocate. And they feel, I don't know. I'm only guessing, but my guess is, if they.
No, this is because they want to humiliate me. They've been accusing me of being on drugs for 2 years. So that, you haven't been a part of it. So I'm just telling, like, these people, have doxed everyone in my family. They have literally sent me pictures of myself dead in a coffin with a bullet hole in my head, because that's how my grandpa died. These people harass me every single day of my life. They don't care. I could stop talking about Gypsy for a year and they would still do it. It's just what it is. And I'm fine with that. I'm a strong motherfucker. I've been doing this for 2 years and I'm still standing. I'm good. But the issue is I don't care if I was fucking Jennifer fucking Lopez, okay? I don't care if I was Taylor Swift. I know that people would do it for them too. I think that it is absolute disgust. I think it's disgusting to try to humiliate someone because of an addiction, whether it be a current addiction, a past addiction, because they're doing it for entertainment right now. And I know that I'm going to be fine, but there are many people that will not be. And there are many people that wouldn't be. Like, you can literally cause to push someone back into their addiction by doing this kind of shit. You can cause someone to just push them over the edge out of shame and guilt. And it's like, people don't think about that. And it's a societal issue that I don't mind speaking out against, because I think somebody needs to. And I'm not the only one, I'm sure. But I don't know. Sometimes getting your bag it shouldn't be what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, do you really want someone else's life on your hands? And I don't even mean by death. I mean by them falling back into their addiction. Like, there's a lot of people that this has triggered. There are people that have reached out to me from this community that are addicts or recovering addicts that this has absolutely triggered them. I mean, these people are basically shaming me. Like, how do you think it makes them people feel? Like,
and then, okay, so my last question. What would you say to the people, the whatever they call themselves, the anti-gypsy community, or do they have a name?
We just call them haters. They're just hating.
What would you say to that, to those who say that, your side does a lot of the same things, like doxing?
Yeah. Tell them, prove it.
Prove that. Prove it.
Well, prove it. That Audrey told me you all were exposing her ex-husband and this and that and the other.
Wasn't us.
That wasn't us. Wasn't us for one. But isn't it funny how, like, okay, so this happened after all of this shit happened, by the way. Like, isn't it crazy how when it happens to you, you have a problem with it? And also exposing him. Why is there anything to be exposed? She goes around calling Gypsy a pedo because she said something about a 13-year-old, yet her husband on his social media platform said he likes his women 16 and mixed with
drugs.
Let's just say Pepsi, okay? He likes his girls 16. But so wait a minute. So you can't be a hypocrite. You can't be okay. You can't be saying, oh my God, Gypsy's a P3DO for having a vampire fantasy, but yet your old man who wasn't in no fantasy land, he's on social media typing, not sharing a meme, not sharing a post, which would still be weird, literally typing, I like my girl 16 mixed with Pepsi. Let's just say Pepsi. That's, sorry, you're in the public eye like they tell me. I never did it though. Don't be mad at me. And don't worry, they already got the person's page taken down anyway. Because they don't like it when it's done to them. Dude, like, my husband's not even on social media. He's got in trouble one time in his life, and I was on here 6 months, and they exposed they exposed all that. Even ruined his deal that he had with the DA. So, it affected his life. And my husband is the sweetest man ever, has done nothing to these people. What did he do to them? Nothing.
Perez, I can tell you this. We have proof where we all got mass doxed last year. We weren't bothering anybody. We weren't doing anything to anybody. We all got mass doxed, and we have the proof of it.
Every house that I ever lived in has been posted. Like, even putting those people in danger. Like, the people that live there now. I mean, every single house that I've ever lived in and my husband has ever lived in since we were, like, children have been, like, the addresses have been put out, the pictures. Like,
all her husband's job. Listen, I watched Bree for months get bullied and harassed and targeted and never said anything. Never. When she finally stood up and decided to fight back, all of a sudden she's a bully. She's harassing people. Are you fucking kidding me? Miss me with that shit. The difference is, when you come at me and you go doxing me, I don't give a shit. I ain't your Huckleberry today. I don't care. But there are people in our community who do care. My address has been out there so many times. I didn't have any gifts show up or a hitman, so I'm good.
Yeah, I used my mom's address as my P.O. box because she was doxed. So I was like, well, at least I don't have to buy a P.O. box now. So now that's my PO box. See, I find a silver lining, you know?
Well, I'm gonna go.
No, I didn't get Nina fired. Nina already said that herself, Dab. You should catch up. Yeah.
All right. Well, you both have a good night.
Get some sleep, Perez. You're falling asleep.
I
I know.
know.
At the end of the day, you're gonna believe what you want, but I mean, I don't really care. I'm just being honest with you because this is the same shit every day. It's not gonna change, but we're still, you know, like
We
I
still
really don't care.
standing. The FBI, we don't sleep. We're still
But
standing.
yeah, like I would just tell them that. Like, you asking me what I would say. Well, I wouldn't say anything. Ask them for proof. Then you would know
Ask for
whether
proof. Ask for the proof. You got it.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Take care of those babies.
Oh wait,
Thank you.
Shelby, this person has really been trying to get up here. So let me see what she wants. Well, I know that none of your business. Trust me. We know.
You know what
Trust me.
somebody was saying in the comments while Perez was up here? If you would leave the internet for a month, this would go away. No, bitch, we ain't going nowhere. Ain't none of us going nowhere. The harder you push, the more we'll stand strong. Ain't nobody here going anywhere. Get used to it. I'm too stubborn to leave. I think Bree is too. I think all of us are.
Shelby, I don't know. I know you've been trying to get my attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just wondering that because since I've been off for so long and then like I come back and I hear this Nicole girl like attacking you and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
Oh, Nicole attacked me. Well, I mean, Nicole was attacked. I know she attacked Sheena. I mean, she talked about me too. Which Nicole are you talking about, though?
I don't know. I didn't know who it was. It just said Nicole. And then she was using some of your videos. I don't know, like I saw one video where you said you didn't talk about somebody or you didn't say anything about someone and then she refers back to some video where you're like calling her Bigfoot or something like that or like Shrek. I don't know. It was something weird. And then that just got me concerned for you because I was like, why is she like attacking her?
I have no idea. Like, if there's a video of me ever talking about somebody, it's because they talked about me first. So,
Yeah.
like, so.
I was coming up because what you were speaking was literal facts on how people doing this when people's going through like addiction and or recovering. A lot of dog talking. A lot of people don't realize that dog talking somebody throughout that time, it's just can make some want to do it more. Some it helps, some can overcome it, but dog talking them is literally the worst thing to do in that moment. My sister went through it. My mom's been through it. A lot of family members have been through it. And I learned throughout the years of dealing with it that just show up, be there, show them you love them through it, show them you'll love them without it. The hate is nonsense whenever somebody's going through that.
And you know what? The thing is, though, sadly, it's not the popular thing to talk about. It's not what's going to give you that bag. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, nobody can tell me any different. People don't care, sadly. Like, a lot of people. I'm not saying all people don't.
People don't care,
but
and
people
I've
don't care.
realized that being
And
on TikTok.
I don't care if I am the least popular person on this app speaking things that everybody should be speaking on. Well, not everybody, but whoever wants to.
You may not mean nothing to the haters, but Bree, your story, if you are like, if the stories are true that's going around about you, going through addiction or whatever. If that's the case, like there's so many people out there that need to hear more stories from other people that are recovering, that's gotten through it, that's getting through it.